Hello everyone, this is Serena Portal with Energy Alchemy, where we take the raw material of our lives and make it better with intention and attention. Today I want to talk about gratitude, specifically a deeper kind of gratitude than I think we usually experience. I have sort of a tricky relationship with gratitude personally. It is big in New Age circles, it is big in manifestation circles, and it's almost like a transactional thing that people want to do. Like it's a paradox, like so many things, but I just feel like sometimes people practice gratitude to get something, and that's not really the true spirit of gratitude, although it's probably better than not having gratitude at all. Abraham Hicks also talks about gratitude versus appreciation. And I have always appreciated their viewpoint on this because it does sometimes feel like gratitude has a little bit of a seed in it still of what we don't want, what we've overcome, the thing that we're trying to leave behind. Like, oh, I'm so grateful I don't have that anymore. And that's not really the best energy to create from. But there is a different kind of gratitude that I have experienced in my life. And I think we can probably practice it more. I don't know that you can 100% manufacture it, but it is like a deeper gratitude that just wells up within you when you're thinking certain thoughts or looking at something in particular or having certain feelings. I have done this at least 2 times in my life in a big way that I remember. And I wanted to share those stories today because I feel like I can't really explain this process from anyone else's perspective than my own, than the way it's happened for me. And it has brought manifestations, like manifestations that I wasn't even really trying to achieve. The first one was when my son was about 6 years old. He is now 18, so this was a long time ago. And he was very sick. And it was a cold, like it wasn't like dangerous sick, but I was kind of a newly single mom at the time, and it was one of those nights where you had to stay up all night with the kid. I think he was barfing. I think I had to clean the sheets, like the whole nine, right? And I was feeling some sort of way about it. I was feeling kind of angry and resentful because, why am I the only one in this? And it was about 6 a.m. The sun was coming up. And I changed my thinking on it somehow. I decided I didn't want to feel that way. And I just shifted that for myself. And instead, what I started thinking about was how incredibly grateful I was that I was able to serve this being in this way as his mother. I was so grateful that he had me and that I had him and that we could have this level of care between us. I was grateful that I didn't have a job at the time. So yeah, it was 6 a.m. I'd been up all night, but I could go back to sleep and it was okay. And I just completely shifted my feeling about the experience to the point where I felt this sort of humility. And for anybody who also knows astrology, it felt like a very Virgo, like humble servant kind of thing. Like, I am this person's mother and this is part of this job that I chose. And it's a sacred job. It's sacred work. And I am so grateful to be able to be present for it. Like, that was the energy. Like, I am so grateful that I can be in relationship with this being and take care of him during these times. What happened after that was kind of amazing, and I still kind of scratch my head about it. He has almost never come to me in the middle of the night again when he's sick. And I don't mind. I'm like, come to me, wake me up if you need me. He just doesn't. He hasn't needed me except maybe once or twice, like when he had COVID or something. But like really in the course of, what would that be, 12 years of being a mom, didn't have that experience again. It was so wild. Like I guess I just felt into it so strongly and opened my heart to it so much. It just transformed. It was really, really kind of wild when I think about it. Again, I wouldn't mind. And I think there's something about that. There's that paradoxical nature of manifestation again. It's like when we truly don't care anymore, when we're able to like fully surrender and let go, the thing happens, you know? Another one I had was actually just recently. When was it? I want to say it was last fall. And I was picking berries in my yard. I have these aronia berries, and they're very plentiful. And just a little bit of background, I have a pretty big yard by city standards, and I have a whole side of it that's an edible forest garden. We put it in 2012. I didn't know I was going to be single this long and taking care of it myself all this time. I was told it was going to be really easy to take care of. I haven't been doing a great job taking care of it. Sometimes people help me, sometimes they don't. But I get a little bunched up about it sometimes because I've had a lot of offers of help and then they don't follow through, or they help for a time and then they're gone, you know, yada, yada, yada. And I look around at my yard and it's a little bit too much for me to handle on my own. And I just haven't been able to either purchase or have friends or partner or whatever that helps me. So it's been a sense of overwhelm for me in recent years. But for some, and so, especially like when I'm like picking berries and nobody's helping me, I can get this sort of poor me, like, oh, why do I have to do this on my own? You know? And so this time, however, I was doing it all on my own. And instead I decided to see the abundance in it. I just felt so grateful, just naturally. I was like, wow, my yard just makes all these berries for me and they're really healthy. And I freeze them and I use them in smoothies for months and months and months. And I was just like, wow. And I was looking out over the rest of the yard, that half of it was kind of cleaned up that I've been working on, and half of it was still like full of blackberry, honestly, and still needs work. But instead of looking at it with the eyes of like, oh, I have so much responsibility, nobody's helping me, why can't I do, like, I shouldn't even be telling this story, honestly. That's my old story. I was in the middle of picking these berries and I was just appreciating it. And I was doing it like at a dusk time, and that's one of my favorite times of day, when the sun is just going down and you're getting that magic hour light. And I just looked out over the part of the yard that is just full of blackberries that need to be taken care of. If you're anywhere near the Pacific Northwest, you understand they're kind of a menace. But I looked at that and I just decided, wow, this is really abundant. This is amazing that I have all this. I am so grateful that I have all this. And it's just like, maybe you can feel it right now. It just lit up my heart and opened my heart. And I was just like, I don't care if anyone else is involved in this or not. I'm really happy that I'm here and that I have this. And it's not that big of a deal. I can leave it or I can work on it and it'll be fine. But it's really amazing that I have this and I'm so happy about it. And what happened after that was I manifested a desk for my son, again, Zane, that I had been low-key working on getting for 8 years, like weirdly, just never got around to getting him a desk, even though I had said we would, like in 2015. Just all this stuff kept coming between getting him a desk, and he was using something else and it was fine. But I think it might have even been that very night that I had that sort of epiphany about like, wow, this is amazing that I have this resource. A desk showed up on our local Buy Nothing group, and it was exactly what I'd always envisioned for that space. I have like a historic house. It was built in 1889, and it was just this cool old roll top desk, and it was in great condition. And there were two other people, I think, ahead of me that asked for it and had said they would take the desk. And I just put my hat in the ring anyway, because I was like, I don't know, I just feel like this desk is mine. The way this just showed up, and it's exactly what I've wanted there. But it wouldn't have been, if I'd purchased a desk, it probably wouldn't have been what I would have found. You know, I was looking at IKEA or whatever. And the other two people bowed out, and we got the desk, and it was beautiful. It still is beautiful, perfect. And Zayton loves it. And it also did this cool thing, like we had to rearrange our furniture, and it brought my dining room and my living room together in a way that hadn't happened yet. It kind of made both rooms click in a way that I had wanted for a long time but had not achieved. And that was really magical. And so I encourage you to do what you can to find that deeper well of gratitude, you know, not just like, I'm going to write out 3 things. I'm grateful for my dog. You can be grateful for your dog. God knows I'm grateful for my dog. But, you know, like, see what you can do to go deeper with it in those ways that I demonstrated in my 2 stories. I don't do it all the time. I try and I practice it more when I think about it. But I think it's like an amazing tool for just like, it's a manifestation tool, but it's deeper than that. You know, it's really opening up our hearts to seeing the truth of the beauty and abundance that's all around us all the time, that like sometimes, you know, personally, I don't know about you, I have a hard head about it and looking at it just wrong. So it's like looking at your circumstances from the place of the divine being you are. And that is what you are. You are the operant power in your existence, and you can have whatever you want. This is true. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I do also do personal sessions, my Energy Alchemy sessions, if you'd like help with manifesting anything. I also can include astrology in that. And I have a group, a membership that is very affordable currently, the Energy Alchemy Sacred Community. So I'll have the links to that if you would like to check it out. I am also an alchemical poet, and I've been getting back into my poetry, so I'll include a link to that. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments, and take good care. Love you. Ciao.